As I said, I'm from the Black Training Enterprise Group, which is a national charity. It was set up in 1996. I'm particularly here today to talk to you about unemployment and the issues that we address through the organisation. So the employment rate for young black men is double from 2012, 2013, 2014, is still double the rate of their white counterparts. Most of the young people who we held the focus groups with particularly said that the reasons they found that they weren't getting into employment was because of racism and discrimination. Kind of looking at the JSA claimants, so the DWP does not publish data to show where people go when they come off JSA, so we don't know whether they are actually going into employment or whether they're just stop claiming. And an initial look at the sanctions data suggests that JSA claimants from black ethnic groups are more likely than other ethnic groups actually to receive sanctions. And across London, the proportion of young male JSA claimants who are black remain constant at around 28%, and this compares with 16% of young males in London who are black. The proportion of young people starting an apprenticeship in London who are black has increased in each year to 2011, 2012. But declined from 2011 to 2012, 2013. So 59.3% of the black people who started apprenticeships in 2012, 2013 were over 25, but you're finding that the younger people between 16 to 24 are not starting apprenticeships as much, although for the older black males, they're taking up apprenticeships much more than actually white older males. For the younger population, this is not the case. So it's about looking at why that is and what we can actually do to increase the apprenticeship rates of young black males in particular. A bit of information about Enfield there. So the government does not routinely publish statistics on unemployment rates by ethnicity, gender and age group. So it wasn't easy to track the unemployment rate for young black men. However, information and data from an up-to-date unemployment rates by the ethnic group from the annual population survey, so this is from that particular survey, shows that young black male unemployment rate in 2011 in Enfield census was 39.9%, and it was actually higher for black Africans at 42.9%, compared with their white counterparts, which was actually 23.3%. And then again, you can see for Enfield in April 2014 to March 2015, a high unemployment rate again for young black males at 16%, and for actually white males was just 4.7%. There is clearly an issue in Enfield with black male unemployment which needs to be addressed. But how can we tackle BME youth unemployment in Edmonton? This is why we're here to discuss the ways forward and what we can do to help young BME people gain employment. So some of the things, as I said, that we do, we have lots of different projects that we use to try and equip young people with the skills to gain employment. And I think, as Colin referred to earlier, it's a holistic approach that you have to take. So it's not just about equipping them with skills like CV writing, but it's looking at the bigger picture, because lots of young people have issues that stop them from actually achieving employment not because they're not necessarily equipped with how to write a CV, but it's other factors also. So maybe they do need people like mentors or role models in their lives. So again, I'm just going to explain a bit more about some of the projects that we do, and maybe you can think about whether you can build that into anything that's happening in Edmonton at the moment. But as I said, one of the programs that we do is called Routes to Success. I manage that particular program. It's a 3-year program which is funded by the Big Lottery and Monument Trust, and our particular focus is young black males of African, Caribbean and mixed backgrounds, and providing them with role models who they can actually refer to and look up to, and gain advice and support in all kind of areas. So we have a volunteer force of black male professional role models, and all of those, we chose those role models because when we did the research beforehand, most of the young boys were saying that they felt that they didn't have anybody to look up to who was from a similar background to themselves. So they were saying there were people in the media that they saw that were doing really well for themselves, but they didn't have anybody they could talk to like on a day-to-day basis.